Squeeze it out.
Just getting the
Squeeze
pumping
it out.
action.
Squeeze it out.
Ah, it's the burn. All right.
Time for all of you armchair sports aficionados to take note. Yes, we're going to delve into the African Cup of Nations, which kicked off in Equatorial Guinea this weekend. Not without a huge amount of fanfare, a slightly lackluster opening ceremony, but we did get some goals, albeit amongst a ton of draws this weekend.
Yeah. Let's have a quick little look at all the games that took place this weekend.
Of course, the hosts get the honour of kicking us off, and Equatorial Guinea were up against a pretty strong Congo outfit. I think everyone thought it was going to be very difficult. They missed out on a golden opportunity. You want to start your campaign with a win, get maximum points. But I think Guinea were doing the majority of the tackling, fantastic in a defensive effort, but they did commit 23 fouls in the process, netting 3 yellow cards, which you really don't want. I think Congo probably deserved the win out of that. They had something like 17 shots on goal, but they're still yet to find their stride. I think there will be a force to be reckoned with, though, in the group stages.
Yeah, but I think a lot of nerves going around. Teams need to settle themselves in. I think we'll see that with today's games. But another game that took place, of course, Gabon, who upset Burkina Faso with a 2-0 victory in one of, I guess, the biggest victory margins of the weekend, where Borussia Dortmund's Aubameyang opened the scoreline for them there before Malik Evonu settled the game in the 72nd minute there. And, of course, the goalkeepers also being required to be on top form when you have top strikers like the Aubameyangs who are just putting in the goals.
I would say undoubtedly they were the stars of the show on the night. But look, we haven't been starved of excitement altogether. I think people thought it would be a bit of a walkover, Cape Verde up against Tunisia. It did take 70 minutes of sustained pressure before Tunisia got the opener, but Cape Verde equalised with a penalty just 10 minutes after that. A 1-1 draw, the third of the weekend. We did see 8 goals in total over the weekend. Would have been nice not to have them all in the draw.
I think that's what most people are disappointed by. But let's talk about the big game that we are all looking forward to today. Exactly, man. Bafana taking on Algeria, and I think what a way to start off the tournament. If we really ever wanted to test ourselves, this is the one. Algeria ranked as the best team in Africa. I mean, they qualified to go to the round of 16 against Germany at the World Cup this year.
Undoubtedly the best side in the tournament, and as you say, a good opportunity for South Africa to find their stride, but also I think Sheik's first big real test. Dean Furman is going to be captaining the side. He's proven what he can do as a player. Let's hope he can prove it as a leader. But I think Bafana have every opportunity to go through and make a strong claim, but they're up against an incredible group the other game tonight, just as mouth-watering Ghana and Senegal.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, of course, the big World Cup scandal that was Ghana, some of the players refusing to play because of not being paid bonuses, and of course, Kevin Prince Boateng and Suli Muntari were at the centre of that entire controversy. So they won't be on the field today, but still, the Black Stars need to reclaim their glory. 2010 World Cup, they did incredible work here for the African continent, so let's see whether they can bring it home.
But all of our thoughts have to rest on Bafana tonight, so all the best of luck to them. In fact, we weren't the only ones taking consideration of all the permutations in the World or in the African Cup of Nations and what Bafana's hopes could be. We spoke to some very familiar faces. Take a look.
The African Cup of Nations are well and truly underway, with Group A and B having wrapped up their matches this weekend. Today marks the first match for Bafana against Africa's #1 side, Algeria.
We are pitted in what is called the group of death. I mean, you have Africa's #1, Africa's #4 and 5. And we happen to be Africa's #11. So when you look at our chances, statistically, it's not looking really good. But having seen how the boys played in the friendlies leading up to the start of AFCON, I think we have a really good chance. The only issue that we have is that we need to wake up in the first 30 minutes of the game. If we get that right, we're taking the tournament.
I think it's going to be very interesting this year in terms of how Bafana do in the tournament. I mean, we're talking about the knockout stages and whether they can make it, but I think what's important here is the 3 teams that they're in a group with, Algeria, Ghana and Senegal, it's a big ask. I think it's more a case of how far can they go if they do get out the group stage.
Under Sheikh's Mashaba, there's something about Bafana, something new that we haven't seen in a long time, and I think it's that self-belief. It's incredible to see the amount of confidence these young guys have, and they really play for one another. I think for the first time in a long time, we're seeing Bafana playing for the nation.
The last time South Africa qualified for the AFCONs, they were led by former Blackburn and Portsmouth star Aaron Mokoena, who is the most capped Bafana player of all time.
It won't be easy. It's going to be very, very difficult. But the fact that we have reached the Cup of Nations, just going to take it from there. It's tough already wearing those national colours. getting in such tournaments. It's what you want to see yourself being involved into as a footballer. And I hope these boys actually understand how important these tournaments are, or these games, or playing for Bafana Bafana. It's going to be tough, humid, very hot, less South Africans supporting the boys. Mental strength, that's where it comes in. Switching off, making sure that you understand you're no more in South Africa. You will be in a foreign land. Get out there and do what you can do best.
With coach Shakes Mashaba at the helm, Bafana have been unbeaten in all their matches. The former under-23 coach has helped restore pride in the national team for supporters and players alike.
He's got the players playing for the shirt again, which is great to see. I mean, they're more an individual team now than a team of individuals, which is really nice to see.
He's stuck with young talent, guys that he can bring through the ranks, who he can use at the next World Cup, because that's something we desperately want, is for Bafana to qualify for the next World Cup. Yes, AFCON's a massive tournament, but Shakes has instilled trust in these youngsters who play for him, who respect him.
Right now, he's undefeated. The players he's chosen are the ones giving the performances that he needs. He has a great technical team around him. Owen Da Gama, he's got experience in South African football himself. So I'm saying, Shakes, you might have left some names that people surprised that you left them out, but you're the guy.
With most of the Bafana stalwarts of recent years being sidelined to make way for a new generation, some astute soccer minds helped us locate the players we need to look out for in the tournament.
Wow. I hope it's not the goalkeeper. Because I think we might have a lot of work defensively. I think a Darren Keat could be one of the busiest men, and his ability to keep Bafana Bafana in a game, making sure that the scoreline stays at 0-0 for as long as it can, gives the strike force, that midfield, the opportunity then to go on and win that game.
And I've got one player in mind, and that player is number 10, Sibusiso Vilakazi. He scored a wonderful goal against Cameroon. He's also scored a wonderful goal against Mali recently. But he's such a complicated player, and it's such an unorthodox player that you don't know what to expect from him. You don't know whether you should start him or not. You don't know whether you should keep him on the bench. But I mean, even in the game against Mali, he disappeared. He went AWOL for 80 minutes of that game. Then he produced a wonderful solo effort and he scored. And I think that boy, whether he starts off the bench, whether he gets given a chance in the starting 11, he can surprise a lot of people.
Tao Matoho for centre-back has been phenomenal for Chiefs when he's played, and he's been very, very good for Bafana during the AFCON qualifying. I think Andile Jali and Dean Furman are going to be very, very important in the middle. And I think that Tekile Ranti with his pace and his strength could be huge for them.
You can catch Bafana Bafana taking on Algeria at 9 p.m. on SABC1, your home of soccer. Let's all hope the unbeaten record doesn't end today.